Welcome to this episode of Toronto Blue Jays Update. Before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button, smash the like, and drop your thoughts in the comments because I really want to hear what you all think about what we're covering today. Everything just fell perfectly into place for the Toronto Blue Jays as we have a massive update to go over today surrounding their pursuit of one key free agent. Not only the Jays' pursuit, there was a report that dropped that revealed some crucial information, and folks, everything is lining up perfectly for the Jays. We're going to break down these new updates and discuss what they mean going forward, as well as the Jays making a sneaky good signing that completely fell through the radar of many Jays fans out there. Even though Tucker and Soto have signed, there are other players on the market the Jays are very interested in. I want to dive into multiple new reports that have dropped. We have some new reports surrounding who the Jays are pursuing, but I want to start with this batch of tweets because it's very important for context. Bob Nightingale, a very reliable reporter who doesn't report often, but when he does, you gotta listen. This is surrounding the Yankees, but it has been confirmed now that the Yankees have made an internal decision not to engage in a bidding war for Cody Bellinger. They've made their offer. 5 years, $160 million with 2 opt-outs. This is important because the Jays are still very much in on Cody Bellinger. Bobby Nightingale rarely tweets, so this is meaningful. The guess is Bellinger is close to a deal and is leaving. The question is, what's plan B? It is clear now and confirmed at this point the New York Yankees are not going to be giving Bellinger more than that 5-year, $160 million offer. The reason I say everything perfectly fell into place is for a couple reasons. One, the Jays have an opportunity if they want to pay Cody Bellinger maybe a short-term, high-average annual value deal, or maybe they want to beat the Yankees offer at 6 years, they can do that. But not only that, there is a good chance now that he goes somewhere outside of the AL East, and that's also a win for the Toronto Blue Jays. This is a win-win scenario, though I'm higher on Cody Bellinger than many people. Will Salmon from The Athletic said the Mets continue to have interest in Cody Bellinger, but would prefer him on a short-term deal. The Mets are involved, but the Blue Jays are involved as well. Scott Boras indicated at the winter meetings that Toronto was among at least 8 teams with interest in Bellinger, but of course that was before Kyle Tucker. The Jays have been working in silence lately. If you have a chance to get Bellinger at a shorter term, let's say it's 3 years, $100 million, $33.3 million a year, is he worth $33.5 million a year? Absolutely not. Necessarily when it comes to direct value, but there's no salary cap. You have infinite salary, but the important thing is you're taking him away from the Yankees, and the Yankees clearly don't want to budge. He's a great defender and a great hitter who obviously benefits from Yankee Stadium. At this point, his market's at 5 years, $160. To be clear, Bellinger's camp wants 6 or 7 years. League sources briefed on the ongoing talks mentioned the Yankees deal that is 5 by $160 with opt-outs after years 2 and 3. At the time of the Yankees' latest offer, Bellinger's camp had been pushing for a deal with 7 years and a higher average annual value. I don't know even if I'm the Jays, and even if it means robbing the Yankees, I don't know if I'd go 6 or 7 years at $31, $32 million a year, just because that's a lot to give up. But if there's a short-term option there, I would definitely pursue that. You could probably convince me to give him that 6 years, whatever, $31 million a year, just because it takes him away from the Yankees, and he's obviously much better off at Yankee Stadium than he is at Rogers Center. But if you can take a guy, and he is a very good player, and you bring him into Toronto, you kind of have your outfielder the next few years, even though he is 30 years old. There's been a ton of reports going on, including a report that makes it seem like the Mets might not be as interested in Bellinger as initially thought. It was only 2 days ago when a Mets reporter wrote about a potential bidding war between the 2 New York teams. Reports say now that it might not be as clear-cut as that. You look at Cody Bellinger's stats, the Jays have to compete with the Mets, and if the Mets offer an insane number, probably don't do it. But the Jays move in silence, and I have no doubt that they are checking in on Cody Bellinger. I'm seeing a lot of Jays fans disagreeing, so I'm very curious to see what you guys think about it in the comment section. At the end of the day, this is a guy who at one point with the Dodgers was an MVP caliber player. You look at 2024, 814, ops even with Yankee Stadium, he could be fine in Rogers Center, and people are overstating how much that drop would be. Still above a league average hitter. 2023, we saw that he was with Chicago, put up an 881 OPS. The floor is a little bit lower than a guy like Kyle Tucker, because he has had some really bad seasons in LA towards the end of his LA tenure before moving on to the Cubs. 2021, a 751 ops. You don't love to see that. That's why the Yankees got him on the low from the Cubs for cheap. But he's one of the best defenders in baseball, and that can't go understated. You look at teams like the Mets, who are only interested in him at a high average annual value. Clearly, something is being planned behind the scenes for the Jays. It might not be Cody Bellinger. At this point in time, it could easily be a trade. That's something that Ross Atkins has done every offseason, it seems like. This is the most recent report from Heyman linking the Jays to Cody Bellinger. Let me know down below what your thoughts are on this, because Cody Bellinger, in my eyes, would be good. I don't think I'm going 6 or 7 years. It's just too rich of a contract. But if you can swoop in for cheap, you have an opportunity to take him away from New York, which is a win. Then, of course, also bring him into a still very capable team with a very capable player. Yes, he's not Kyle Tucker. He's not Soto, at least with the bat. But he would still add some much-needed outfield thump in left field, which then, of course, you would trade Nathan Lukes for a bullpen arm. And then, in theory, you have an improved bullpen, improved left field, and improved team. It's not my money. I'm fine with them overpaying for players. Just like the Jays got screwed with their 10-year, $350 million offer. The Dodgers overpaid for Shohei Ohtani. Go ahead and overpay for Cody Bellinger if you really like the player. I'm not sure I like him enough to overpay, but let me know down below what your thoughts are on that, because his splits are a little bit scary outside of Yankee Stadium, but people forget he was great with Chicago 2 years ago in 2023. Yankee Stadium aside, and he was great many times with the Los Angeles Dodgers, although he was a lot younger then. A couple other things before we wrap up. Ernie Clement spoke out recently about being a utility player, and he said that he loves it, loves bouncing around. It helps other guys get in the lineup, helps the manager play the hot hand. This is going to be increasingly crucial if they get an outfielder, because you might have to move Barger around, which means moving Ernie Clement around. Right now, his position is probably second base with Soto now out of Toronto. Clement's going to have to be moving around between third, between short, between second, probably not much first base. It's great to have a guy like Ernie Clement, a team-first player, to really dive into the super utility role. We might even see him in the outfield. If they don't get any other outfielders, they want to take advantage against lefties. It's going to be an exciting year. I'm excited to see some Ernie Clement at bats again, following one of the best postseasons of all time, especially given the expectations. The Jays made a very sneaky signing on January 15th amidst the Kyle Tucker rumors by signing Juan Caracuto, a catcher from Venezuela, for almost $2 million. That's a big part of their international bonus pool. He's an absolute stud. $2 million is not cheap. That's their biggest investment this offseason for international free agents. According to Baseball America, Caracuto possesses a well-balanced set of skills behind the plate and in the batter's box. He's also both athletic and agile, enabling him to be a high-level receiver, as well as being someone who's comfortable handling pitches with high velocity. For someone who's super young, and the Jays' catching depth isn't quite where it used to be, they have Alejandro Kirk, they have Danny Jansen, you have Brandon Valenzuela, who they got recently in a trade for Will Wagner to the Padres. They are now positioning themselves to have some more depth. Shout out to him. It's going to be an interesting signing. The more depth signings you get, the better here. A lot of signings went under the radar, so I'm going to be diving into a few of them as we approach the next few days. Let me know down below, do you want to see Cody Bellinger on the Toronto Blue Jays? Would you rather him go to the Yankees? We'll keep you up to date regardless. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to share your opinion in the comments.